way. You no longer exist, you're no longer in my
Welcome to AfterMat, your source for WWE PLE recaps. I'm your host, the Secret Boss Cal, and alongside me, as always, I have my tag team partner, the Glamazon Delisha. What's going on, Delisha?
Hello. Another Monday means we got another recap for you. And I'm also being jacked for my snacks from a toddler, so there's that too. And my water. She took that too.
Well, we are starting our, I guess, foreign tour now, as Backlash is the first of the next few WWE PLEs that will be overseas. I don't think we come back to America until uh, SummerSlam, I believe it is, which is in Cleveland, Ohio. The tickets have just gone on sale, or will be going on sale this weekend, I believe. So, if anything, you can see how much it means for a foreign audience to get a WWE show or a main show like a PLE or something like that, because they don't get to see it as often. They really want one of the big four to come overseas, but for the most part, it has been in the continental U.S. But like, just your thoughts about the card and the location and the venue. What do you think? Oh, we are coming Backlash France. Sorry, that's why I forgot to mention that. So it was in France, Backlash 2024.
Yeah, yeah. It was Paris, right?
No, Leon.
God. Yeah, there's that. Yeah. I thought that it was great. Um, I was wondering if they would be able to compete with the Puerto Rico crowd from last year, and I think that they um, definitely took on the challenge of being loudest international um, crowd for quite some time. I mean,
Yeah,
I know it's because we're in a dome versus like stadium, or I mean, we're in an arena versus stadium, so you have like is that physics? I don't know. You have
acoustics. But I guess
yeah,
yeah, I guess
but
ultimately it is
still,
physics.
you still got to
Ultimately
be
it
loud enough for it to reverberate like that.
yeah, ultimately it is physics, I believe. Um, but yeah, like I like apparently like the French audience were getting like notifications on their Apple watches or whatever saying like it
Yeah,
was like
yeah.
it like the noise alarms are going off in the arena and stuff like that. And Michael Coleman mentioned that as well. And I wonder though, like the decibel level that how they measure it. Obviously, it's easier to measure inside a closed arena, like you were saying. But if they were to do it in a stadium for a pop such as like was Survivor Series in a stadium or was it in an arena? I think it was in an arena, right? Because it was too cold to be outside. It being November. I'm assuming it was in a stadium. I would think, right?
I think
Chicago
so.
in November is very cold, so I'm assuming it's going to be it was in the stadium, not a stadium. I mean like an arena. So I wonder like how that decibel level compared when CM Punk returned compared to this one that we had in Leon. But or is it a big pop that maybe when Cody won at WrestleMania, that being a stadium and it's open, um, because I'm pretty sure Lincoln Financial Field is open. It's not a dome. Um, I just wonder like how they measured accurately and if it can be comparable for the two. But I don't know. I wasn't impressed with the fans. They didn't even speak English, so I wasn't happy with that. It just showed you how uneducated they are, and they hijacked the show. They hijacked the show. Like I thought it was stupid, but whatever. Um, let's talk about the first match of the evening, which was a tag match between Kevin Owens and Randy Orton teaming against the Bloodline, the new Bloodline, I guess you can call it, whatever you call it, Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga. I think that's his name. Yes, Tama Tonga. And they came out and they started fighting right away before the bell could even ring. So the road agents and the security came out to stop it. That's when Nick Aldis came out and said, "Hey, you guys want each other that badly? Let me make this into a street fight." So right away it became a street fight, and all hell broke loose because I think um, Kevin Owens took one of the people. I forgot who he took. He might have taken. I don't know which one he took. He took one of the Bloodline guys to one side of the arena, outside, up the ramp and stuff, and KO, and then Randy Orton took the other one and went the other way. Welcome, Will. Welcome to the show. And they were split up, so they have to have dual cam, which is cool. I like this new production thing that the WWE is doing with new camera angles and new like camera movement and cutaways and all that kind of stuff. I really like how they've improved their production ever since Kevin Dunn has departed, and it's really showing. One of the best ones, so I don't think I got a chance to mention this, but was when like Rhea Ripley was attacked. Dominic Mysterio hit the camera, and as he hit it, the camera started going forward and caught up to like Sami Zayn going into the ring or whatever it was. There's something really cool like that. And I'm liking this with the double camera. Double camera we really don't usually see unless it's like a replay and a picture-in-picture replay. But this one was really well done. It was side-by-side action. Or we also see it when commercials happen on TV. They show like the small box of the wrestling still going on while we're watching the commercial in a big box. But sorry, I think my camera went blurry for a second. I think it's still blurry. I don't know. Can't tell. But anyway, they split up. There was a lot of good action until they got back into the ringside area. The ringside area is funny because when KO came up, he got up on the guardrail and did a frog splash onto, I forgot which one it was. Then Randy Orton got up on the guardrail. I was like, "Come on, let me hear you, let me hear you." And everyone started going crazy. So thinking Randy Orton was gonna like do something off the guardrail, but he just stepped down, and everyone started laughing. It was really funny. Oh, they also sang Randy Orton's theme song, which I thought was pretty stupid. Like I don't even like the theme song for Randy Orton. I like his older one, which is like, "Hey, nothing that you can say, nothing's gonna change what you did to me." So they should have sang that instead if they were gonna sing anything. Tama Tonga took a lot of the beating during the majority of the match. Like I guess it was like the welcome to the WWE kind of thing, but it was really he was in the ring for a long time and took a lot of the beating. I think after a while he was able to get some chairs into the ring as well as a kendo stick and started beating up people with a kendo stick as well as trash can. That was all right. Then Orton hit an RKO on Tama Tonga. I think he did it on the. Did he do it to Tama or did he do it solo? He did to one of them on the announcer table. I think it might have been on solo. He hit the RKO on the announcer table. But eventually, I think Solo was able to take advantage and knock Randy Orton out on the outside of the ring, and then Tama and KO are in the ring, and KO takes Tama to the top rope and does like this top rope or maybe second rope brainbuster onto these chairs, and that looked brutal. If you watch Michael Cole's reaction too, because they have it up on Twitter, that was a really cool spot. It was just a really good. But I didn't think it would be that brutal. But like it's kind of like comparable to what Sami Zayn did to was it Gunther at WrestleMania. But like this was actually even better because it went onto chairs, and Tama Tonga took it really well. And then KO went for the pin. This has to be a pin, like 100% a pin because like that was brutal. 1, 2, and all of a sudden someone pulls. This is pretty badly timed, I have to say, but someone pulled the referee out of the ring or stopped the count, however you want to say it, and it was Tonga Loa, which I had no idea that was. I had to wait for like the announcers to say it. Like Michael Cole, they always wait. They go, "What the hell? What the hell's going on?" And then like I think Corey Graves or one of them was like, "Oh, that's Tonga Loa, the real life brother of Tama Tonga." So like he helped. He's the newest member of the Blood. Everyone's saying Jacob Fatu, Jacob Fatu, Jacob Fatu, and WWE throws a curveball and brings in Tonga Loa, and I guess they are part of this tag team known as the Gorillas of Destiny. I don't know if it's gorillas spelled gorillas like the ape or gorillas like the soldiers. I'm guessing it's the soldiers. I don't think they want to be considered apes. So I'm guessing it's the soldiers of Destiny, like gorillas, GUE, not GOR. Or GEU, whatever. Whichever way it is. The GEU or GUE, not the GOR. gorilla. And then he hit, I think, Kevin Owens with the steps. He hit Randy Orton with the steps, and then Solo hit the spike on Kevin Owens, and then he got the win 1-2-3 for the Bloodline, which is good because it didn't make Kevin Owens and Randy Orton look weak, but it also didn't really make Solo Sikoa look strong either because he needed help. But I guess they have to build the Bloodline now that we have some key members out at the moment. They had to make them, strengthen. I think it's a cool debut. Throw us for a loop. What do you think, Alicia?
Yeah, I thought the match was pretty good. I think the street fight style, as I'm seemingly having one in my living room, I think it really worked for Solo and for Tama Tonga's kind of like match debut, and I guess it also fit the I guess like animosity for these four, yeah, for these four. So I actually really enjoyed the match, and it was a really good like the crowd was hyped like since Friday SmackDown before, and seemingly did not stop through Saturday. But it was a good match to really get you like into the program for viewers watching at home, and just seeing everyone have a good time crowd wise kind of just added to the.
And what do you think about the introduction of Tonga Loa as opposed to Jacob Fatu?
Yeah, well, honestly, I'm not that familiar with either of them, so to me, this is like my first time like really seeing them. But from what all accounts that I hear like online, that they're both like pretty good. So, and someone had brought up they must be saving Jacob for something bigger for the line, whether it be he interfere in a more bigger match, maybe like a SummerSlam, or he might be on the other side, so to speak, as a face.
Yeah, because he is apparently he's very popular in the Indies and or whatever he is, and he's very athletic. He's like one of those like Keith Lee guys. Let's say Kevin Lee. I'm talking about Kevin Owens. It's like one of those Keith Lee. He's not as big as Keith Lee, but he's kind of like a bigger dude, kind of like Solo Sikoa size, maybe a little bit bigger, and he's more athletic though. So that's gonna be cool to see. I don't know. The few clips I've seen of Tonga Loa were very bad. I didn't see him I didn't know he's part of a tag team, the Gorillas of Destiny. The ones I saw, of him were like they're making a joke of it. They're like, "Oh, do you think they'll ever sign Tonga Loa because how bad he was? Like he was doing like these like elbow like chop things and looked really really like bad. Like he was doing like how if you watched how Sky Blue took a chair shot a few weeks ago that everyone's making fun of. It's like a meme all over Twitter.
Yeah, and it's funny because I thought he was young, but I didn't know that he was Camacho back in the day when he first was in WWE. I don't remember the tag team name that he was on, but I was like, oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I mean, this is just like his first match in WWE, and it's a street fight, so he's just ready. There's room to grow.
No, I'm not talking about him. First of all, Will said that Jacob Fatu is a little bit smaller than Bronson Reed. So he's about like Bronson Reed's size, just a little skinnier. A little bit. I'm talking about Tonga Loa, the one who just brought in. The newest signing, the newest member of the Bloodline. Like apparently he's like awful. If I can find that clip of him, I'll send it to you because it's really embarrassing.
Gotcha. I mean, also still since I'm unfamiliar with him, this will be my first chance to really see him. And again, he has time to grow.
Yeah.
Because sometimes being on a bigger stage is like sink or swim. So we'll have to see.
All right. The next match of the evening was for the WWE Women's Championship, featuring the WWE Women's Champion against Bayley against Tiffany Stratton and Naomi in a triple threat match. This match was, I mean, being a triple threat match, you would think they'd break the rules, or use weapons or something. This didn't really need that. It was actually a very good wrestling match. I think the Bayley's last two matches have been maybe other than her match against Sasha Banks at take over Brooklyn 2 or 1, whatever it was. This is one of she's had two of her better matches of her career in the last two matches she's done. Because this match was very good. I think people more likely want to see Bayley versus Tiffany Stratton. Them throwing in Naomi, I didn't really care for, but Naomi got her little shine because when she came out, the crowd was really behind her, and they had a little chant for her and kind of thing, and like a little response to her. So that was cool, I guess, from Naomi if you like that kind of thing. But when I always talk about putting more than two people in a match or whatever, it gets sloppy. This wasn't really sloppy at all. There was not really any sloppiness at all. It was actually just a very good wrestling match on all parts. There weren't really any either big spots besides like I think Naomi did one cool thing. I can't remember what it was. It might have been like a slingshot or something like that. But I didn't really remember anything cool from her or Bailey. But Tiffany obviously did some cool things where she did the Alabama Slam twice, once to Bailey and once to Naomi on the outside. That was onto the announcer table, and then she also did the prettiest moonsault ever, but didn't. I remember the one cool spot for the other two. She did the prettiest moonsault ever, but both the members Bailey and Naomi rolled out of the way, and Tiffany kind of landed on her feet and then did a back tuck into a standing position, which is like very gymnast of her. She's a gymnast. That was cool. But the one really cool spot from Bailey and Naomi is that they did the 1D or D1, whatever they call it. Not the 3D. It's a 3D basically, but it's the one that Usos do. They did that to Tiffy. That was pretty cool to see. Other than that, I don't remember any highlights from Bailey and Naomi. There weren't any highlights. Just a really good wrestling match, which I wasn't expecting. I was expecting seeing like Naomi being a high flying athletic person and Tiffy being a high flying athletic person. I thought there was gonna be a lot of good spots. It was just good wrestling, and maybe that's what we needed. Like like the Tiffy and the Bailey Io Sky match is just very good wrestling, right? And the counters what made me pop when like I keep saying it over and over, the front flip that Io Sky did off the whatever that move that I don't know what the hell she calls it, the planting move where she plants her face into it. We'll probably see it in chat. Bailey's new finisher. I forgot what it's called. Something isn't it Rose? Is her daughter's name in it? Something like that. I don't know. Whatever it is.
Yeah,
like
is it I think Rose Plant?
Rose Plant. That's it. See?
But that's not named after her daughter because she doesn't have any kids.
No, your daughter.
Oh, I was like, what? Okay, never mind. Sorry.
See, this is why we don't give women rights anymore. Anyway, so she did the Rose Plant Io Sky. I'm still talking about that because that was a cool moment. That's what we saw in this match. There's a lot of good counters, got a lot of good wrestling. We didn't need any high flying spots. We didn't need any weapons. Nothing like that. Just a really good wrestling match, and it ends with good wrestling, right? Like it wasn't like any finisher or something like that. Naomi went for a roll up or pin, and Bailey was able to reverse it, and it was a quick like slick move that she got the pin. It was very abrupt. I remember Delisha saying, I think we were talking about in the chat, like that was so abrupt. We didn't expect that, but like it was actually like didn't make anyone look bad. No one took a finisher really. No one took any like bad like let me get a kick to the head and push the other person out of the ring and then quickly pin that person. It was just really good wrestling and took a slick counter to get the win in a 1-2-3 roll up, and Bailey retains. So nobody really looked weak because Tiffany didn't take the pin, and Naomi took the pin, but she took it in a way where she got out wrestled, not out beaten. If that makes sense. Felicia, what are your thoughts?
Enjoyed the match too. I thought like you, I thought it was really solid. Just match. Yeah, I do think that this was like you said, for it to be a triple threat match, there wasn't really a lot of shenanigans going on, especially with Tiff being the heel and using shenanigans to get herself into this match. But I did enjoy it, and then I think these are just three like great women who, are very firm in what they're doing, and I mean, I feel like with the 3-1 involved, we shouldn't be surprised because Naomi and Bailey are vets, and Tiffany is just like great. So it's just really interesting. I mean, it was just really good to see them get to work together, and I feel like Naomi and Tiffany, mainly, I guess because they've had like more matches together, they have really good chemistry together. Because they're kind of like the antithesis of each other as well, with Tiffany being like the mean girl Barbie, and then Naomi being like the ultimate like cool, like fun, like good girl, so to speak. So I really enjoyed seeing them work together.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed this match. I feel like this I don't know if this is a SmackDown title or whatever it is. I think it is a SmackDown title, right? Yeah. I feel like the SmackDown title has better women on it, the brand itself, and they've had really good wrestling matches. Whereas like Rhea's dominance is what kind of like was the storyline of the Raw roster. taking on all comers and dominating them. Whereas this is good wrestling and very good even matches as we go throughout the pay per views or PLEs we've had pay per views we had previously. Now they're called PLEs. All right, the next match is for the what do they call this thing? The World Championship, World Heavyweight Championship, featuring the World Heavyweight Champion Damian Priest against pre-show Jey Uso. Exactly, Rose. You tell him it's pre-show Jey Uso can't main event a day in his life. Never has, never will. She knows. Can you say pre-show? Can you say pre-show Jey Uso, Rose? See? She said it. She knows.
Well, he definitely didn't get a pre-show entrance. So I'll give him that of him coming through the crowd. I guess in a way, all of Seth Rollins was just with the whole crowd doing the whole where so that was a cool like visual to see to get again just keeping that like hype level up, and then Priest coming out to be the antithesis of that with his more, I don't know if you want to say more somber entrance, but I mean it's kind of like it's like heavy metal ish, but anyway, let's talk about the actual match. But Jay tried to not try to so Jay would try to taunt Damian with the heat chants in the ring as the match being well started to get in the crowd also back on his side. So this so happens to me try to do a podcast is cleared where and circle. I'm getting attacked. Okay. Here. Anyway, like I was saying, sorry. Free started to go on the offensive with Jay, bringing him into the barricade, and then before bringing him back into the ring, trying to just be a slowly working the match as normally Damian Priest is kind of I guess would do with him being the bigger like strongman guy, and Uso coming back with his more friendly strikes, which included like a crossbody, which almost I think literally went into like a 2 count. Um, and then he would continue to try to do that momentum, which led them to the outside, which would spark uh JD McDonough to come out along ringside to try to interfere with Jay. But we also had Damien who told them, I think either earlier in the night or before the PLE started, to he didn't want any interference. He wanted to do this match on its own. But apparently, JD didn't get the memo and tried to help anyway. But he did avoid getting super kicked. Priest that is getting super kicked by Jay, who super kicked McDonough off the rope, and then they were both trading strikes back and forth by that point, where Priest hit oh okay Oos. Now she's saying Oos. So the Razor's Edge to a near two count, and then we got almost with another near fall when Jay hit the spear, which I kind of forgot he was using now. It's like a move of his own. I don't know why that always catches me off guard because I guess it's so ingrained for me that it's for Roman, but it's just funny to see Jay do it. Anyway, this time we had Balor trying to come out while Jay was on the top rope, I believe. Again trying to cause interference, but again, Damien not really being happy with that. Or I think at this point he didn't see Finn as he hit the what's his finisher called?
Evans.
Oh, South of Heaven, is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, from the middle rope for the 1 2 3 to retain his belt. I thought the match was pretty decent overall. I do think it was definitely a better showing for Jay in this match, than Jay have shown in especially since the last Mania match. So I do think this was a better showing for Jay. I think it was a good I think first title defense on the pre PLE for Priest. And they really are, I'm pretty sure, nudging him into the face uh sphere, I guess, so to speak. You know, him trying not to win matches without being interfered, but also wanting to be the actual leader of Judgment Day by making them stand like next to them, stopping JB and Finn from attacking Jay after the match, and then just to have them pose with him afterwards. So it's pretty interesting to see the dynamics of how they're gonna play this. So I'm not sure, but overall, I did enjoy the match. What about you? I know you don't really care about Jay, but did you think as the match over itself, do you think this was a good defense for Priest?
As soon as I saw the stupid French audience do mistime Jey Uso's up and down hand thing, I'm like, I don't even want to care. I don't care for this match. After watching his WrestleMania match against Jimmy, I'm like, I don't care for any Jey Uso pre-show Jey Uso matches until he's back with Jimmy and then the Usos or there's a bloodline thing going on. I really couldn't stand this match. I don't care for David Priest being champion. I don't really care for pre-show Jey Uso either. So I watched like the first 5 minutes of the match or 2 minutes of the match, and I went to go do some housework. By the time I came back, it was the perfect timing for him to take the South of Heaven or whatever it's called from the second rope, and so I didn't even watch the match because I couldn't care less for these two people. Honestly, for most of the champions in the WWE right now, I don't really care for. I think the only ones I really do care for is like Logan Paul and The Miz and Truth. That's it. Everyone else who's a champion is like just terrible. Like I think these are probably the worst champions we've seen in WWE history for a while. Like of all the people holding the belts. Um, and it'll come to it'll come to that in a little bit too because we have some more things to talk about because there's a few more championship matches coming up. But yeah, I didn't really care for this match. Pre-show Jey Uso needs to go back with the Bloodline ASAP because his star is not rising. It's falling in my opinion. He's getting boring. He has 3 moves, right? It's like the splash, the super kick, and the spear, whatever you want to call it. He doesn't really do much else, so very boring. He's not good on the mic either. Yeet is a statement from like that little kid said like 20 years ago, and now he's still saying it. Like it's so stupid. I think his whole character is stupid, and he just needs to go. All right, let's go to the next match, which is for the Women's Tag Team Championship, featuring the Kabuki Warriors represented by Asuka and Kairi Sane, who are the defending champions, against, I don't know a tag team name for this yet. I keep saying the Black Beauties, which I think they are. They should be called that, but I doubt they'll do that. And it is Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. I believe it's a delicious match as well. And we have some new people joining. Let me say hello to them. Like I said, I think I said hello to Will earlier. We also have CS. Welcome, CS. How are you?
Yeah, no formal tag teaming for Belair and Cargill just yet, but they got the matching outfits together though. They got that pretty quickly. But for the most part of this match, it was kind of Bianca getting into it with Asuka and Kari. Just honestly, just doing Bianca, Kari, and Asuka things. uh, but we had Bianca, being the strong woman that she is, suplexing Asuka, excuse me, suplexing Asuka. Or I think I think she suplexed her into her corner to where she was able to get the tag to Kari, and then eventually Cargill did get into the ring where she just basically ragdoll Kari all around the ring, to where she got a hitting some like backbreakers, and then I think her and Malcolm was doing like quick tags in and out at that point. Um, to which Bi- Bianca would keep Kari out on the outside while Jade and Asuka um squared off in the ring. Um, where she would eventually kind of take Bianca out for a little bit by hitting her with a crossbody, and then it was the champion's turn to isolate Belair when she got back into the ring. trading tags back and forth, keeping her far away from the corner with signifying, that Jade is the stronger, more intimidating of the pair, or as we always say with like tag team wrestling, keeping them outside of that corner to keep them from tagging with their partner, who would, I guess would also be like the fresher point as well. So you don't want them in there. But Bianca was finally able to get the I guess the hot tag second time, I guess, to where Cargill and Bianca was. I don't know if they had if there is a name for this move. It was just honestly, it happened so fast. I can't even like describe what they what they did. Um, just I'm pretty sure it was on Twitter. Um, but then we get um Jade catching Kari off the top rope, um, or having her hoisted off on her shoulders, like spinning her into the proper position to hit the wait, is there a name for that move?
Jaded.
Jaded. That should be so easy to remember. But hit the jaded move because I'm so used. I'm also, even though I've seen Jade do it all the time, I still associate with Beth Phoenix, even though she hasn't wrestled. Well, anyway. Hitting the jaded, and then Bianca hit the KOD onto Asuka, and they get the win. Um, for them to be the new tag team champions, which I think a lot of us kind of just expected that to happen. I thought the match was fine. I do think Jade had a better showing in this match, although you could tell there was a few like missteps. I think some miscommunication issues between her and whether it'll be Asuka or Kari sometimes. I think it's just a little bit bittersweet only because Asuka and Kari really didn't do much while they had the tag team titles, so it doesn't feel like a big win. Although this would be Jade's first title and WWE. Is this Bianca's first time having a tag team title? I can't remember. If so, that's also surprising. But I'm sure will tell me. Well, yeah. Overall, I thought the match was fine. Um, I think it was just because I guess I should say Kabuki Warriors, call them about their actual team name. They haven't really been strong champions. Not just because they were being like the chicken shit heels, but because they just hadn't had like great feuds throughout their reign. So like this win, I mean, it's great for Bianca and Jade to I guess solidify them as a team, but it just felt um I don't off is not the correct term, but it's the one my brain will come up with now. But we should see how they work as a team going forward as Bianca basically takes Jade under her wing to like basically, show her ropes, no pun intended, and into this WWE style. But overall, what did you think about the match, and do you agree with the decision to take the belt off of the Kabuki Warriors?
So, I love the Kabuki Warriors. I feel like they are great. I think they should still be champions. I see why they did it. I think it's too soon for Bianca and Jade to be tag team champions. I like Jade and Bianca as a tag team because it protects Jade because as she's still learning. But now this will force her to learn faster because now she's champion. So she's probably, you'd think she'd appear more on TV and defend more and stuff like that. So this is going to really put her on the spot. Can she live up to the pressure? We'll see soon. But I really would have loved it if, Kyrie and them kept it. But Bianca and Jade put on a good showing. But now it makes sense why they did it. It makes sense why they did it, but I think it's too soon. But maybe we'll see Kyrie as a solo person because I love her as a solo person. I would love to see her go back. She was a pirate princess, right? I'd love to see her go back to that because I thought she was so adorable then. But now she's kind of like a heel right now with Damage Control. But maybe they'll eventually break up now without Bailey, without Io being around. Kind of, we'll see what happens. Yeah, it was a good match. I really like the double team moves that Jade and Bianca pulled off together. Those are really cool to watch. I love when tag team wrestling does actually tag team maneuvers. Not just a tag team finisher, but if they actually do tag team maneuvers. That reminds me of the old school like Demolition and Legion of Doom and stuff like that. Hard Foundation. I love seeing all that kind of tag team maneuvers other than the tag team finisher. And Jade and Bianca did that, which I thought was really cool. And I love watching that. And obviously Kyrie and Asuka have been doing that too. So I love these 4 women as tag teams, making up 2 tag teams. I love seeing that. I just don't think Bianca and Jade should be champions already, but it makes sense. Like I said, it does make sense for how they want to maybe push Jade more. And to go on to what you're talking about, that finishing was awesome with Kyrie doing a, I guess, seated senton onto Jade, but Jade caught her in a powerbomb position, then flipped her around into an electric chair position, then flipped her over her shoulders into the glam time position, then did the Jaded. That was a really cool transition and looked very smooth too. It wasn't like botchy at all. Like you said, there were a few like little mishaps because Jade is very green in the ring, even though she's been in AEW for a while and then in the Performance Center or NXT for a while. She's still like like some people say you don't really know what it is until you're actually in the ring doing it in front of an audience. That's when like all the pressure, the lights, and the heat of the match are on you. That's when you actually really have to perform. You can look like $1,000,000 fighting the air. I forgot who said it was, fighting the air. You can look like $1,000,000 fight training, but when it comes to actually doing it, performing in front of a live audience, that is when you got to step up. And Jade's still not at that point where people say she should be at after being here that long and also having a past in AEW. But like I said, she wasn't used well there, from what people say. So Triple H and Shawn Michaels are going to take their time to develop her, which they did, and now they're going to pair her with someone like Bianca Belair to train her, because when you put her with somebody like who's already like a big star, that can only help you, right? If you're receptive to learning. There's problems with people who don't receptive to learning, but she can learn a lot from Bianca, because Bianca went through that process as well. So seeing all that and being a powerful woman that Bianca is, that Jade is as well, that kind of meshes well together. So we'll see how that turns out. I'd love to see them more on TV and doing more of these tag team maneuvers. I don't want to see these 1-minute squash matches with Jade anymore. I want to see her actually perform and be there for a while. So we'll see. Yeah, and already Rose is training to fight Jade and Bianca as a tag team. So there you go. You got your tag team maneuvers going on. You taking Rose and throwing her like you just did. So we got that going for us. All right. The final match of the evening was for the WWE Undisputed Championship, featuring the Undisputed Champion, Cody Rhodes against AJ Styles. Will says Bianca turning at SummerSlam, calling it out. Everything he calls never happened. So basically, Bianca's not turning at SummerSlam. That's only like 2 months from now. I think they might be champions for longer, because they don't have anybody else coming to, they don't have anyone else coming in the woodwork as a women's tag team to take it away from them, So I don't see that. Welcome, Shug. How are you doing? All right, so the final match of the evening is Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles. As you saw, the crowd kept singing Cody's song. At least they sang it in English this time, which is good, I guess. One good thing about people noticed or mentioned is that AJ Styles wore a purple outfit to pay homage to his match against Dusty Rhodes in NWA or whatever it was for the NWA Championship, where he wore a purple outfit. So he kind of wore the same color tones to represent that and pay homage to that. And this is the first time anyone's ever fought Cody and Dusty for a championship ever. So even though they're two different championships, he's the only person in wrestling history to fight Cody for a championship and Dusty for a championship. So that's pretty cool to hear and see. There was when AJ came out, there was a song for him that's something about being phenomenal. Like apparently that's a chant that they have for like maybe the soccer or something in France, and it applies to AJ because we always say he's phenomenal. So that was cool. And then obviously, like we said, like the fans kept singing Cody's theme after it ended. Right before the Samantha Irvin announced both competitors. It was a good back and forth wrestling match. Cody even did his cartwheel with the Stardust thing, and then with the fans started going Stardust, Stardust, Stardust. Cody did botch a point. He did do a botch where like he was holding AJ for a while. He couldn't hold him anymore. He kind of just dropped him, and thank God AJ's okay. I think the fans are more into themselves at that point than the match, because they were just chanting the entire time for AJ, and then the 2 count chant that they have every time it's a 2 count, as like, because the match wasn't that good. For a match for these 2 caliber of athletes, this wasn't that good of a match in my opinion. And I think the crowd actually took away from the match. We were more focused on what the crowd was going to say next than what was going on in the match, and that was one big drawback. As much as people said the crowd was great, and I think the crowd was terrible, this shows how terrible they were. And another point, AJ hit a burning hammer. Cody kicked out at 1, started hulking up, much like Will's favorite wrestler, Hulk Hogan. He started hulking up, and the crowd started going crazy for that. After a while, I think AJ didn't get to hit a Styles Clash. He didn't get to hit a Phenomenal Forearm. He did hit a Springboard 450. That's the only offense, like signature offense that he got in, and a Pele kick. Other than that, he didn't really get any signature offense in. So it kind of protected him from using his moves, because otherwise, we all knew Cody was probably going to win. So it protected him from using that. The match ultimately ended with Cody doing something pretty cool, where he did I remember Kurt Angle used to run up the ropes. He did that, but he bounced off the springboard. What do you call it? Cody Cutter onto AJ Styles, then hit one crossroads and got the easy pin 1, 2, 3, thus burying a young up and coming superstar like AJ Styles, much like Hulk Hogan, who is Will's favorite wrestler. What do you think, Felicia? What do you think of this match?
Yeah, I actually did really enjoy the match. I think we had a really good showing. I mean, what I call it the best match of the night, probably not, but I do think it was a really good showing. And I didn't realize that AJ didn't do most of his signature stuff, um, which is uh, surprising because that's what as Cole would say, that's vintage AJ at this point. I did like the little cartwheel start of moment that Cody did because I mean, yeah, I know it's a period of time he would like to forget, but I mean, there was a big section of fans who actually did like Stardust. So I thought that was like a fun little moment or a little nod. I do think it was, I think, yeah, another good, I guess, defense by the champion to showcase that they can be in that top spot. And I do agree with you that at this point, well, I guess it was the last match of the night, but at this point, like a lot of the crowd chants were a little distracting. But I don't know if it was because they were in French, so I didn't know what they were saying. Or except for I knew by looking it up, they were doing like the 2 count thing, and then them explaining the phenomenal song. But um, but yeah, like you said, at times it was distracting to because you were just like focused on the crowd and not actually the match, which you kind of don't want to do. It's kind of almost like the beach ball, and when they try to bring it to the arena, it's like a distraction more so as a like a participant, crowd participation for the match. But overall, I didn't hate this match as you see. Well, I know you don't hate it. You didn't find it up to par, but I did enjoy. I enjoyed all the matches actually, but I do think it was a good first defense for Cody. I don't know if we're gonna run this back, or or Cody moves on to someone else. Maybe the winner of King of the Ring. I don't know. It seems like with the caliber of people they have, that they might set that up for to actually mean something. So that could be challenging for one of the belts, depending on who wins for on the men's and women's side. So it'll be interesting to see how we continue to do this Cody title belt reign.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm already tired of this reign. It got so stale. I feel like when is AJ gonna win again or ever? Someone like AJ should have probably beaten Cody, but like Cody really holds AJ's back because he doesn't have the athletic ability that AJ has. So I feel like AJ was toned down. Like I said, you didn't get to see any of his signature moves. So I don't know.
I wonder. Well, no, does he still done? Has he still done them as a heel?
He hasn't really wrestled,
Southpaw,
right? He
yeah.
hasn't really wrestled. Did he even fight WrestleMania? Was he at WrestleMania?
Who, AJ?
Yeah.
No, I meant when he was a heel a couple of years ago. Uh,
Yeah, he did the
but
phenomenal. He did the phenomenal forum. That's when he started doing that more than the Styles Clash.
okay, no, yeah, I think the South Clash is a staple, but because I know sometimes wrestlers who are kind of known for doing like off top of stuff, they'll stop doing that because fans keep cheering it. So as a heel, they won't do it. So I
Right.
don't know if he was like um thinking about that of taking that away or not. But I'll have to see him in another match.
Oh, I
Uh,
think Cody was the heel here. I think the fans were behind AJ because they sang that whole phenomenal
no,
song.
they just wanted to chant.
Nah. Um. Wait. So yeah, but did AJ wrestle at WrestleMania? I can't even remember now.
Yeah, him and LA Knight.
That's why I forgot it. So stupid. So stupid. Freaking. What's his name? Max Dupree. I forgot his name. Yeah, is it Max Dupree? Yeah, Max Dupree. I'm just gonna call him Max Dupree. That's his name. Anyway, yeah, that was a terrible match because of Max Dupree, not an AJ Styles. But anyway, um, with that said, no Uncle Howdy. We did get a QR code through it. Well, if that's in turn for Uncle Howdy, we don't know that, but um, no Uncle Howdy showing up like people speculate because the date or whatever it said could have been that time, but we'll see. With that said, what was your low point, your high point, or overall grade? You're on mute, I think. Are you on mute? I can't hear you.
Oh,
There you go. You're good. You're good. I think you're
oh,
too far
okay.
away.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This one's pretty hard, but I think my high point. I think I'm just gonna give it to the atmosphere. That included that will include the crowd, just the overall atmosphere, and you can really feel it and see it with the talent while they're coming to the ring and in the ring that they just like they were just having a good time because the fans were having a good time. Low point. Uh, I th- I think I'm gonna give it to the women's tag match only because um they probably had the least um I want maybe not storyline only because like I was saying before like the Kubuki Warriors they weren't book strong, so I feel like their win didn't feel um I still can't think of the words that I'm thinking of. Their win didn't feel like great. But what even though that's my low point, it's not like a I hated it type of low point type of thing. Overall grade is actually gonna be like a B, solid B. I really enjoyed a lot of all the matches that were on the card. None of them were like terrible, and I think also I think we should keep Backlash international for a few. If we're not gonna get some other POs internationally, I think Puerto Rico showed last year, France has showed this year, and then basically anytime they do go outside of the U.S., they are getting hit because they don't see them as often. So I think we might maybe keep Backlash the international show for a little bit just as we integrate more non-US PLEs. I would love to see that in the future.
All right. Will says the low point is the World Heavyweight Championship title match. The high point is the crowd. The graded overall grade is a B plus. So let me tell you guys something right now. In honor of the next pay per view or PLE being in Saudi Arabia, our favorite place, we're not gonna validate Felicia's uh, her low point or high point. Just forget all that. It doesn't matter. Because Will is an absolute moron, his opinion does not matter either. The only opinion that matters right now is what the secret boss says, and we'll talk about what this pay per view actually was. All right, so it was terrible, terrible, terrible fans, terrible. They couldn't even speak English, right? That was awful. Cody Rhodes buried an up and coming superstar in AJ Styles. I can't stand this shit. All right, so low point was the fans. The high point was the opening match, the Bloodline versus Randy Orton and KO in the street fight. And the overall grade, France starts with an F, so I'm going to give this pay-per-view an F, because fuck France. Alright? They lost pretty much every war they've been in, and just shows you how terrible they are. They smell. There's awful people. Awful, awful people. You can't spell France without an F, and that's what AfterMat's official rating for this PLE is an F. So that's what we're going to go with. Nothing else. Nobody else matters. So what I say. That's final. And final, coincidentally, also starts with an F. So that is the official grade of this PLE. Okay, back to business. Felicia, what have you been up to? And where can we find you? Because I know you have a new, well, not a relatively new video since you've last been on.
Yeah, I've been focusing on keeping this child alive and out of danger these last couple of weeks as she continues to explore the world around her. I have yes been back into creating more videos on my YouTube channel, which you can find me on YouTube and Instagram, TheFatRat TV, where we talk about motherhood, recipes, and just life in general. If you like this type of content, go ahead and give me a follow. But yeah, there's a new video going up this week. I'm going back to my roots of the recipe video. Last week I mean, the last one's video was like a day in the life or a day of eating being with gestational diabetes. So if you have diabetes or you are also pregnant or you know someone who is pregnant, maybe your partner is, and you want to know what it's like to try to keep those blood sugars under control, give that video a like or a thumbs up. And like I said, this week is just another a standard recipe video, but it was really fun to make.
As for us, despite our love for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, we will not be covering the Queen and King of the Rings. The next time you shall see us is after Clash at the Castle, which is on June 15th. So you'll see us on the Sunday following June 17th, or Monday following June 17th. And I think that's live from Glasgow. So like that continues the WWE foreign train. So we'll see how that audience does and how much Cody Rhodes buries another talent. I guess we'll see what happens there. But until then, remember, the secret house is all that matters. Catch you next time.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And we'll grow in number, fueled